Hello everyone, vonlin here. I'm excited about a little project you may have heard of called Star Citizen, a realistic space sim MMO being developed by Cloud Imperium Games. Through pledges, Star Citizen has raised to date $42 million in crowdfunding. This video is going to give you everything you need to know about the Cutlass, one of the many ships you can currently pledge for. Drake Interplanetary claims that the Cutlass is a low-cost, easy-to-maintain solution for local in-system militia units. The larger-than-average cargo hold, RIO seat, and dedicated tractor mount are, the company literature insists, for facilitating search and rescue operations. While it's true that Cutlasses are used throughout known space for such missions, their prime task and immediate association is with high-space piracy. Cutlasses, often operated in groups, menace distant transit lanes to prey on hapless merchants. A single Cutlass can ravage a mid-sized transport, and a pack operating as a clan can easily take down larger prey. STOL adaptations allow these interceptors to operate off of modified transports or pocket destroyers, the most common warships that make up pirate caravans. Let's go ahead and take a tour of the Cutlass up close. There's two different ways to get into the Cutlass. One of them is on the front landing gear right here, this blue button. If you go up to it, you can use the use function, which is a little bit buggy and hard to line up right now. And I should mention right now as a disclaimer that this game is in pre-alpha. They're going to very soon be releasing a dogfighting module that is going to officially start the alpha, but right now this is all pre-alpha, so a lot of things are going to change and be fleshed out and polished, for instance like these little blue buttons that can be sometimes difficult to use. But anyways, on the front landing gear here you see there's a ladder that gets you directly into the cockpit area of the Cutlass. But you can also go around to the back here and find another button on the rear landing gear that will open up the back of the ship and load you directly into the cargo bay. Now as the in-game description that I just read off while touring the outside of the vessel mentions, this is the pirating ship of the game right now. So it's mainly used for pirating, or at least it's a specialized purpose. I'm sure it can be customized for a lot of different things. But in here you'll see the cargo bay, which is expanded to hold a lot of the loot and booty per se that you could get from doing high space piracy. On the bottom here is actually the docking collar. That is something very special about the Cutlass, and the only ship right now that you can pledge for that has one of these. What this allows you to do is if you disable another ship in PvP combat, or probably PvE as well, you can then tractor beam it and board it by attaching your ship to it and going through this docking collar. And this docking collar actually does open up here with another use button. Let me find it. I believe it's this lower one. Actually, no, excuse me. I think this is going to drop down a chair. Yeah, so you see this chair that just dropped out of the ceiling? This is actually for the top turret of the Cutlass. When we were walking outside, you probably could have noticed that there was a turret on the outside. So actually, when you're piloting this, or one of your friends is piloting up there in the cockpit area, you can have another player, or you can hire an NPC to sit up here in the turret and man a turret on the top of your ship. Let's go ahead and put this chair back up there. And like, you can also get in this chair. I'm not going to bother showing it to you because you can't really see anything up there right now. But you could get in this chair and it'll pull you back into the turret and someone can sit up there. But let's go ahead and put that back up there for now. Alright, I believe it's this button. Let me go ahead and hit it. So, you see this is opening the docking collar. So, after you disable an enemy ship, you'll be able to basically transport yourself and all of your friends as a boarding party through this into the enemy ship, kill off its crew or capture them, and take their ship for yourself. These two chairs here, you can actually both go up and use too, which I'm not sure, but I want to guess that means you can probably have at least 2 passengers in addition to your crew sit in these chairs. I'm not sure if the amount of people you load onto your ship is going to be limited to people that can sit down and strap in, but it's a pretty good guess. You know, again, it's pretty early to tell, and I'm sure a lot of things could change, so I won't speculate into it too much. But let's go ahead and close the docking collar back up. So again, you can see the cargo nets and everything. I believe this is a toilet back here. You know, enough with the cargo bay. I guess you can get the feeling for it. This top button here will go ahead and it will open up this door. Well, maybe I'll open up this door. Like I said, this is pre-alpha, so take everything with a grain of salt. I'm sure the final product will be much more polished. So here's the cockpit area. If we had gotten in from that front landing gear ladder right here, we would have came in onto the wing and then entered through here. This is the pilot seat here in the front, and this is the RIO seat, which is a radar officer. So one of your friends can monitor the radar and the ship's shields and weapon systems and all of that, but I have a feeling it'll be more fun to put your friend up in the turret up top. Right now, the official stats for the Cutlass say it is a two-man crewed ship, implying that either two people sit up here and maybe that turret isn't usable, or one person sits there and this is just a passenger seat. There's a lot up in the air and how these three seats are all actually used for flying the ship, but there's definitely a pilot seat here, and then someone can either sit in this RIO seat or can sit in the turret up top. Real quick, I'll just get in this for you, give you a look at this. So this is the front pilot seat, and you can look around to the right. You know, it's got a very big view panel compared to some of the other ships you may have seen, which I think is kind of nice. And you will notice that these seats are off-centered to allow two people to get up and walk into them. I've done some research, and apparently when the game launches, as you can see on the ground here, there's some treads. This does lock over to the center, so you sit centered in the cockpit once you take off. You're not actually sitting off-centered like that. I think that was kind of bothering some players. Anyways, this button here can go ahead and close this up. Here, why don't we push it? First time to charm. So we're going to seal that up. This button can close this doorway from the inside or open it from the inside, and etc. Cutlass has a maximum listed crew size of 2 and a mass of 35 tons. Its default cargo capacity is 10 tons, and its size is 29 by 7 by 25 meters. An interesting and important attribute for all ships is their upgrade capacity, which is the number of slots available for modification of the ship. You can increase your ship's speed, its durability, the power of its weapons, its cargo capacity, and things like that with upgrade capacity. The Cutlass's upgrade capacity is 12. As far as maneuverability, it has a max power plant size of 4. Its main thrusters are two TR4s, and its maneuvering thrusters are 16 TR2s. Finally, we come to the weapon hardpoints. Weapon hardpoints have different classes in Star Citizen. Each class of weapon is a category that defines what kind of weapons can be used in the ship in certain quantities. For instance, the Cutlass has 2 Class 1 weapon hardpoints. Class 1 weapon hardpoints are your forward-firing weapons that are a little bit bulkier and larger. They can't be aimed or rotated, but they usually pack a good punch. The Cutlass, meanwhile, has 1 Class 2 weapon hardpoint, which Class 2 weapons are guns that can rotate and be aimed and have a field of an arc of fire. The Cutlass also has 2 Class 3 weapon hardpoints, which is where you put things like missile launchers, spare ammunition, ECM, radar pods, and other utility-type modifications and weaponry. And finally, the Cutlass has 2 Class 4 turret hardpoints, which is categorized as the manned turrets. For instance, on top of the Cutlass here, above its cargo bay, as I showed you on the inside. Under additional equipment, the Cutlass has the Joker docking collar extension, which I showed you guys on the bottom of the cargo bay, which is used for boarding other ships and making boarding parties. It should also be mentioned that the Cutlass is well suited to be fitted with a tractor beam, used for after you disable a ship and to presumably dock with the ship using the docking collar. I'd like to wrap up my video talking about the cost of acquiring a Cutlass. Now, all ships in Star Citizen will be attainable in-game as you play the game and get money, and you can purchase them and whatnot to acquire different ships. But you can also pledge money to the game ahead of time and start with ships in your hangar before the game even launches. Now, the cost for the Cutlass to do this is $100, which is quite a lot of money for a virtual good in most people's mind, I would think. It's far more pricey than any normal video game costs just to play it. Now, some players see this as an investment in a game that they are excited about and they want to see do well. They see it as a donation. They don't see the money they spend being dollar for dollar for the virtual goods that they're getting. A lot of it's just done out of charity and support for the game. Other players are a lot more hardcore and want to buy the biggest, baddest ships they can before the game starts, and money outside of game isn't a problem for them, so they'll spend as much as they need to. And then there's other players that want to spend the bare minimum amount of money required to get access to the game, start out with a small ship, and work their way up in-game. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's kind of a controversial topic that's divided the audience for Star Citizen. I want to know what you guys think. Post some comments below on is it a good idea to spend money ahead of time? Is $100 too much? Is it too little? What do you guys think? Let me know below. Please subscribe to my channel for more Star Citizen videos and other gaming videos. Don't forget to like and favorite. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video.